There aren't many competitions that are designed to be an extreme test of skill. The Grimsthorpe Challenge is one of them. Welcome to Grimsthorpe, one of my favourite grounds in the UK, and today we're going to be shooting the Grimsthorpe Challenge, a 75 bird extreme layout. I'm a little nervous about today. We've got 75 of the hardest targets in the UK to shoot at the Grimsthorpe Challenge. I've shot this for the last couple of years and I'm always excited for it. They're good targets, they're hard targets, and I'm always joined by the best instructor in the UK, Ed Solomons. You've seen the course, right?
Seen it, set it, looking forward to shooting it.
So you're responsible for this?
I am entirely responsible for this. Thanks very much to the help of Joe and the guys at Grimsthorpe. But yeah, designed it, set it up, finished it yesterday, and I'm particularly proud of this one. I think for the first time in years, I'm genuinely looking forward to having a shot.
Distance, speed, angle, everything is painful.
There's plenty of stuff out at distance. So we start off on the sport trap. The targets on the sport trap individually are not scary. There's probably the closest target is inside 10 metres on a training spring. The furthest target to the kill point's maybe 45. So you then go into the sporting, which I would say is there's no let up on the sporting. It's a pretty serious setup. And then we go into the high tower complex, and there's just the average level of target in there is middling to hard. There's nothing absolutely mental. There's a couple of birds, I would say, depending on how the wind gets you, maybe on the last peg, you might be pushing 70 yards, a genuine 70 yards.
That's a long way.
Not an internet 70 yards, an actual 70 yards. There's nothing there you're going to look at and think is individually a terrifying bird, but cumulatively, it's a tough layout, but I really think people are going to enjoy it.
Let's go.
I was going to go for a handshake there, and then, you know, you got me with the...
I fisted you.
I'm going to take your fist.
I blindsided you with a fist. With our fears reduced by a healthy dose of ice cream, we headed on to the sport trap.
Right, gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the challenge, as we've already said. Sport Trap 2024. We'll take an opportunity just to have a look through the 5 targets, starting with the A-bird. This is a midi target on the left-hand side, coming off the left-hand shoulder, quartering away. Target number 2, this is a left to right Batu. Cage number 3, we have our C target. This is a standard bird, quartering in left to right. The D target on the right hand side, this is a right to left Shondell Looper. And the final target, a right to left, fairly steady and close standard target.
Each bird required the correct move and a bit of confidence to get it broken. It was great to shoot, but even better to watch, especially seeing how the others were coping with some of the more pressured pairs. Bang on description.
Yeah?
Nothing there that they're not easy.
Yep.
But as singles, confident. But all the timing goes out the window because, I don't know about you, in those sim pairs, you pull out of the first shot because the timing's so close.
Almost all of the sim pairs, depending on your personal choice of timing, can be shot both ways. I think there's 3 of them that need to be shot a certain way. But just that element of doubt for people of, do I do this, do I do that? I think being the first run through as well, none of us have seen any of the sim pairs, so you're taking a best guess at it. But we spent a bit of time looking at the sim pairs when we were setting it up, and we've kind of made sure that most of them are doable most ways. There are 2 pairs there I think you have to kind of accept that it needs to be shot a certain way.
Unless you're some kind of quick off the arm magician.
Yeah, if you can chop into stuff, then that gives you another option, but most people can't.
Let's go get destroyed.
You're on.
Oi.
We're now on to the first stand of the second element, which is sporting today.
The first bird of the first stand was a single monster clay with full use. It was the sort of clay that you don't mind missing, which is pretty good because most of us missed it.
I just done gone myself.
Following that single was 4 tough report pairs. The first bird came right to left, followed by a 35-yard rabbit coming downhill. This is one of the most deceiving pairs I've shot in a while, and is the sort of stand you want to shoot again and again. Which is good, because you can do, as this challenge is re-entry.
It finishes on the 22nd of September, and to book on, give us a call in the office or pop onto our website and fill in a Grimsthorpe Challenge request.
Right, gentlemen, stand number 2 of the sporting.
Well shot.
With the exception of the silly one, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about the silly.
Yeah, I think you would. I think most people would be reasonably okay shooting 7 on that. So the fact that it was a silly one, I will take it. Probably clawed one back from the stupid one, or one of the stupid ones I missed on stand 1.
Even with world-class advice, I could not find the line on that second bird.
Well, that was fairly typical. Throwing away a fairly good score on one stand, just binned all of those second targets, got straight in afterwards, readjusted the line, and I was just too far underneath it. The shot method felt quite good the first time, but wasn't enough lead. Then every other time I just pulled too hard down, not enough out the side. Got back in there for an extra one and smoked it, but too little too late. That's a real tough little target. Very breakable. All these guys shot it very, very well. We're still in the game. We're still in the game.
Final stand number 3 of the sporting element today. This is your final 4 pairs.
Stand 3 was a sim pair. A standard target and MIDI target both came from the right. It looked simple enough, but as I watched the shooters in front of me dropping plenty of targets, I doubled down my focus, got my head screwed on properly, and got at them.
That was a very fair sporting. When you said it was going to be hard, I figured you'd just be 70 yards, silly stuff. It was very breakable.
The only what you'd class as extreme target was the single full use, which is the first bird that you get on the first stand.
Yeah, you can write that off.
And that's what it's there for. Having said that, we've seen perfectly breakable, and it's not there for everyone to just be able to fill in one after another. Onto the tower now, and this is the bit I'm really looking forward to. Some stuff up in the sky, interesting birds, big spaces. All right, let's go.
It's all to play for.
Welcome to the final element of the Grimsthorpe Challenge. We're in the arena now. This is your last 25 shots of the day.
What a great selection of targets, really. You've got a lovely standard driven, and you've got a lovely right to left Batu, which needs a bit of lead, and you're right underneath it, which is great because it's so high. I mean, it's not often you get to see and get underneath a target like that.
It's fair to say you're not going to be posting mega scores. I was extremely happy with my 54 out of 75. I know if I shoot it again, I'll find a few more out there. You don't really see targets this difficult in a competition scenario. When you're shooting 100 sporting, obviously there's an expectation that people want to hit someone and leave happy. That's not what the Grimsthorpe Challenge is about. This is a place to come and see targets that you will probably never have seen quite like this before, to learn something about shooting, and of course, a huge amount of fun. Guys, I'm going to be back before this is closed for another round. I feel like I can improve. I feel like this is good for your soul. Ed, because you shot that high tower so well, would you talk us through that last peg? I mean, they're crazy targets.
They're extreme, right? I think of the 5 individual targets you've got there, you've got a big driven Batu, which is not crazy. It's just you don't get to see a Batu at that speed driven off a tower over your head that often, so people will be fairly uncomfortable with it. The A bird off the tower is what I would call the safe bird there. That's like a 30-yard semi-belly crosser. That should be the safe one. We've got the C target, which is a standard that's cutting across and away where it's
never closer than 40 yards.
Optimistically, I think that probably starts at 45-ish. And it's cutting out and away from you. That is obviously a very, very, very big target, as in the space required is just a lead that most people won't be comfortable with. We've got the Chandelle, which is, again, just a big target most people won't have been presented with. And then you've got the F bird, which is a climbing right to left. You only get it as a single, so you only get presented with it once. That was one of the ones that I missed on the last peg, and I don't feel too bad about it.
You did get back in and hit it afterwards?
It's one of those ones where even if you do have a pretty good idea, it's still...
You only get one shot.
Yeah, you're never going to feel like you completely find that, right? So yeah, really, really happy with it, but it's set up so the first 2 stands are by no means easy, but they are definitely shootable. The last stand is just to show people some stuff that they basically won't get to see almost anywhere else. The important thing to understand
Never
is,
in a competition scenario as well, which is a different kind of gravy.
yeah, when you score in an event, it does put another element in it, right?
Yeah, if we went to go play there, doesn't matter, I'll have another one.
Yeah, and you can just play around, you can hit a few and you feel you've done okay. The important thing from my perspective is, Aaron, I kind of made a point of it. I shot the whole of that thing with 3/8, and I shot the whole thing with a Pro 1 7.5 Platts wad. I didn't use any big shells, I didn't choke up, and it did okay, right? So
yeah, definitely.
The stuff I missed earlier on in the day on the sporting was through completely misreading targets, and I set them. So
did a good job.
If I can get it wrong, I think plenty of other people are going to get it wrong. But it's not because anything's out of range. It's really important people understand that these targets, yes, they're hard, but they are completely doable as long as you understand, you learn where to put the shot. And the whole point of this is to get people exposed to this stuff and hopefully encourage them to get outside their comfort zone and learn rather than just shoot big scores on stuff they know they can shoot.
And there's no embarrassing scores out there as well. I think anyone who's shot this, even if you walked away with a 30, it's not that bad actually.
There'll be plenty of people who put in low numbers, and that's fine. It doesn't matter. I hope people come and have a go.
Right.
Come and get stuck in.
Well set.
Well done, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching, guys. This channel is made possible by our amazing sponsors. You can find out more about them in the description down below. And if you want to support the channel, you can join as a member. You get loads of extra content, well, some extra content, and occasionally we hook up and go clay shooting together as a membership group. If you don't feel like joining today, we really appreciate you watching and subscribing. Have a wonderful day.